Hey, what's going on, Junkies? It's Kenshiro. We're back with Culture Junkies Live. Yeah, you know what? It's Halloween. You know I had to play that music, man. It's Halloween, and we got a really hype show in store for you. We had a lot of really cool stuff come out this weekend. We had Stranger Things 2 drop. We had some news about the Justice League drop. We also had Paris Games Week is going on this week, and we had a lot of really dope trailers hit then. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and get you introduced who's going to be on the show with me today. First and foremost is Super Nerd Plus. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Super Nerd Plus is here to talk about some Halloween, because Halloween is my favorite holiday ever.
Is it now?
Christmas is second. Oh, yeah.
Okay. The Great Dadakuji, what's up, bro?
Happy Halloween, everybody. I hope you guys are staying safe and eating tons of candy.
Staying in shape and eating tons of candy. Nice.
Safe.
Nice. And last, certainly not least, welcome back, old friend. What's up, Miao Yin?
Hello, all you happy people.
All right, good to see you. You styling and profiling in them shades. What's going on down there in Florida?
I am the cat herself, Miao Yin. I'm very true for Halloween.
Very true. Very true. We're glad to have you back on the show, girl. It's been a while.
Indeed.
Certainly been a while. Yeah. So anyway, guys, you know, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. First and foremost, I'm gonna kill this music a little bit. Hello out there to LGC and hello out there to Nick Autry. How you doing? Let's talk about some of the news that we actually heard that came out this weekend. One was the very surprise announcement that Zach Levy is going to be Captain Marvel. Not the Captain Marvel from the Marvel side, no. Captain Marvel from the DC side, yes.
No, he ain't
AKA known as
he is officially Shazam. You know that.
Yeah. Well, no, to me, he's always going to be Captain Marvel. That's my thing, and I'm gonna stick with that. But anyway, I was very shocked and surprised to hear that Zach Levy got the job for this. Now, look, I love this guy. I've always loved this guy. You know, ever since I first saw him on the hit NBC, the cult classic TV show Chuck. He's been someone that I followed, and you know, he's a big time culture junkie like us. I mean, he's into video games. He's a retro nerd. He grew up in the '80s like we did. He just happens to be a famous actor. So, what did you guys think of the casting of Zach Levy? Miao Yin, I'll start with you.
I was surprised, but I was just like, I don't know. I hope he does well in it. He has an interesting look to him. So,
elaborate. What do you mean by interesting look? What do you mean by that?
He's not the first. Like when I'm thinking of Shazam, I don't think of him. So I think of him as like some. I don't think of him at all, actually. So that's probably what it is. I'm just like, oh, interesting choice. This guy is different. Not exactly who I would have envisioned, but he doesn't look out of place. So I'm like, all right, well, I hope he does well in the role.
Super Nerd, what'd you think?
I like Zachary Levy. My only thing is I can see him as being the voice of Billy Batson. Now playing him is a totally different ballpark. Like, I don't know how vast his acting chops can be, but then again, it's easy. You're a kid basically playing an adult, and he still has kid-like mentality. So I don't know how well it may play off. It may very well play off, but he had to be super bulked up, because we all know that is a big character. You got to be Henry Cavill, because he's about the same stature as Henry Cavill. So he got to be bulked up to even remotely compare to Superman. There's some big shoes to fill.
I think they draw him bigger in the comics. So, I mean, granted, as I always said, comics and movies don't have to match, but you're gonna have The Rock playing Black Adam, and The Rock is freaking massive. So, the guy's not gonna be able to put on pounds like that, but he is gonna be able to. I guess get cut, but are they going to show him without the shirt on? Probably not. Probably always going to be in in a suit, because Shazam is only seen, or Captain Marvel as you want to call him, but Shazam is only seen either as a child or the superhero adult, so they can fake all that stuff in the movies.
I mean, he's not, and that's why I say he has an interesting look, because he's a tall guy, but he's not like a buff guy. So him being tall, I think they could, you know, they'll mold him out to be the superhero that he needs to be.
Let's do it. All right.
That's going to extend to two days before the movie comes out. Now, usually to me, that's a nightmare waiting to happen. Yan, what'd you think when you heard this news?
I had a hearty laugh because it's I don't know, like there's so much that is going on with this movie that I'm just like, just let it come out already, and just, you know, either it's gonna suck or either it's gonna succeed. And geez, what else can happen?
you know good and doggone well that, you know, a review embargo of a movie of this caliber, to limit it to only 2 days before it comes out, something smells fishy. Super Nerd, what'd you think?
Basically, they're like what Crazy Ralph said in Friday the 13th. You're doomed. All this stuff been swirling around since the movie been made. So it's rumor after rumor after issue after problem. So my only suggestion is it's gonna flop. And you got actors Ben Affleck being one. They say he's in the movie, then he's out the movie. So all this stuff circling around, it's like I had no more faith in the movie. I never heard this much drama.
But Dido, what do you think? Why is this such a big deal? I mean, maybe, and you've been the more even keeled kind of guy, but when you hear that a movie of this caliber is under review embargo 2 days before the movie comes out, what does that say to you as a person?
Well, in my honest opinion, review embargoes do kind of mean something, obviously, because take a movie like Thor. Now, granted, Marvel has been, pretty much successful since they started doing movies. And I don't recall ever a review embargo on any Marvel movie. I do recall many review embargoes on DC movies. This is not the first one. And if I remember correctly, I think Batman Superman v Superman had one as well. I don't know, because I didn't keep up with it at all. But as for the movie, it's kind of hard to say, because I think their best movie was Wonder Woman, period. And then this movie, the trailers, they look like it's going to have a lighter tone, because that's basically, it needs to feel like a comic book movie. That's something that they have not been able to do at all, in my honest opinion, because they're trying to do too much realistic crap. So if they leave the realistic crap alone, if they leave the brooding Superman alone, which I'm pretty sure they're not, and you know he's coming back, I don't know. I'm just going to sit and watch. For me, it's kind of hard to judge the film, because you want to go just outright say, oh, it's going to suck. It's going to suck because of the past. But Wonder Woman didn't suck, and all the rest of them did. So you can't really say the past right now is Wonder Woman. That's the most recent.
And I'm actually glad you kind of brought that up. I'm glad you kind of brought that up, because here's the other thing. The other kind of shoe to drop with this Justice League news is that as the days go by, the stars of Justice League, being Gal Gadot and even Henry Cavill, actually came out today, and they're all starting to distanced themselves from Zack Snyder's vision for DCEU. They're all first Gal Gadot said that she disagreed with the way Wonder Woman was handled in the initial movie, and in Batman vs Superman, by saying that she abandoned humanity. She didn't like that. And Henry Cavill comes out and says that, oh well, the DCEU was kind of started off bad and hasn't really gone in the right direction, but Wonder Woman was a start to be in a more positive direction. What's your response to that, all three of you? What do you think of that? Whoever wants to go first.
Well, that is kind of concerning as well, but Henry Cavill is right. And they didn't start off the DCEU right, because they did have some of the wrong tones in the beginning. And we've discussed this ad nauseum, that there's certain characters do not act and behave like this because that's out of their character. And the fans, you're making these movies for money, of course, but in order to get people in the seats to get that money, you got to make it for the people who made this stuff relevant and popular, because without them, you wouldn't have wherever you have. If nobody cared about comic books, DC would have folded back in the 1920s and 30s or whatever they came out. So you got to try to keep it where you want the fans to watch it, and you want to bring in other people. But if you make it for the fans, the other people will follow, and will see it too. So I mean, he's not incorrect about that. And for Gal Gadot, I don't recall reading her things, but if she's talking about how Wonder Woman was handled in Batman versus Superman, she's completely right. But I think they corrected that with Wonder Woman, the movie, because she's not the same, And if they
I think that also presented made things be kind of disjointed the way they handled Wonder Woman, and I think that's kind of what she's talking about.
It is disjointed. That's what I'm saying.
Here's the thing about that, though. It's a solo film. What you expect? They are focusing on one film. You have 6 other characters in a movie to try to get everybody's part in there. So of course it's going to be a big disaster. Of course it's going to be different from the Justice League. So for them to even say that, it's like asinine. Like, yes, Wonder Woman. I actually saw Wonder Woman finally, so don't say nothing. I saw it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, like I said, it's one movie. Now you have 6 other characters in the Justice League who everybody putting their hands in the pot because they want this movie to be so great, and everybody got their hand in the pot and just fucks it all up. And that's what's happening, because Warner Brothers they were saying one thing and DC saying one thing, the director saying this, so it's like it's gonna be a hodgepodge of bullshit. And the same thing happened to Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, what they need to do is, because yes, I agree with both of those stars in their assessment. And if you start off bad, then it's hard to turn that around. And so that's why Superman has the track that he has, because they had somebody completely different working on Wonder Woman, and not the same people working on, that are doing Justice League, that are doing Batman vs Superman, that are doing Man of Steel. It had a different result because it was a new set of eyes. It was somebody who wasn't going on the same agenda. So Snyder has his own agenda and his own story that he wants to do, and it's not working. And what they need to do is bring in people from the comic book world to direct these movies, who are fans, and who can bring the content out like they did in Wonder Woman. So until they do that, I mean, and who knows, maybe they did that with Justice League. Who knows? We'll see. But until they can do that, the DCU is going to continue being a disaster.
I said that years ago. I said that years ago. I said they should get some of these comic book writers to do some of this writing in the movies, and get somebody who has some kind of inkling, like that knows about these characters. I know they got Jeff Johns, but it seems like Jeff Johns has no control. Like, you got Kevin Feige over there, and he's the head guy, and you got those people that's under him who are comic book writers that knows these characters. And say what you want about how Marvel is too funny or too this and that, but at least they got the characters down right. I mean, it feels like a comic book when I watch a Marvel movie. DC is just up in the air.
And I agree with everything they're saying. They need to get, if DC, and we've said this again, DC's animation movies are amazing. Get the people who write those to do the live action movies, because how hard is it to write a script? You're writing a script for animated, you're writing a script for live action. Anything that can't be animated, you do it freaking computers anyway. So boom.
Have to agree, but let's move on to some more news. We'll talk more about Justice League in the coming weeks. We got 2 more weeks until this movie comes out. So the next thing we're going to talk about is Paris Games Week is actually this week, and they've been showing some pretty awesome trailers. One of them is this one that's playing right now, and that's Spider-Man. Spider-Man, when I saw this is the story trailer that they had made by Insomniac Games. But man, the first thing that strikes me is just the character models look fantastic. Cinematically, this thing looks fantastic. It just looks like it's going to be probably the best Spider-Man game we've ever seen. Like, any comments on Spider-Man?
I am super excited about this game. I am buying the PS4. Not, of course, yes, for this game, but as other games for PlayStation I want as well. But this is the main reason I'm getting a PlayStation 4 for this. I haven't bought a PlayStation since PS2. That's how long ago it's been. And I've seen the graphics. I've seen the gameplay. I mean, we all seen all Spider-Man previous games. Of course, open world, but it's just so much you can do in this game. It's like, oh, I'm excited. I cannot wait to get this game.
This is like the Spider-Man game that I've always wanted. I love open world games. I love how dynamic the story, like it looks like it has a dynamic storyline, and that it's like from comic book to game, and you're playing a comic book, and I love that. So I'm kind of looking forward to playing this game. I wasn't gonna buy it, but after I saw the trailer, I was like, "Yeah, that's gonna happen."
Yeah, it's really strong.
I heard a lot of hate about it because it has their whole, whenever a certain action happens, you gotta push a quick button or whatever.
I mean, that's been going back since Dragon's Lair, man. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
It's like, plus you gotta be quick in your reflexes because you just can't just push any button and expect to, oh yeah, this is easy. No, it's a quick reflex button, and if you get fucked up, you get fucked up. You just suck at video games, so you gotta be quick on your P's and Q's.
That means you start playing it more so that you can get your weight up on your hand-eye coordination.
Now, what about Detroit? This is the game that starring is from Quantic Dream, the same studio that brought out Heavy Rain on the PS3. Very cinematic, photorealistic game about cyborgs. It's been a while since we actually kind of heard anything about this one. This one's starring your favorite Jennifer Lawrence, Miao-Yin. What do you think about this game? What did anybody think about it? I should say.
Well. I think it looks great. I can't say I'm a fan of that style of games because I don't play them too often. I will play them. They're not bad type of games, but
right.
I want to see it because I need to understand how they're going to portray my favorite city. And for countless years, Detroit gets a bad rap for damn near everything. And Detroit is the reason why this country is great. You can freaking fight me on that. It's one of the reasons why I got a middle class. It's one of the reasons why this country is the way it is. It's because of this city. But to me, it looks like it's another thing. Instead of having, people who have more melanin in them versus those who don't as a racial issue, it's androids versus humans now. And it has to take place in a city that does right now still have a huge segregated population. So I kind of want to see where they're going to go with it. And I just hope they don't try to, just make this city look bad like everything else.
I can already tell that this is not going to be our Detroit. It's not going to be our Detroit. Just from looking at it.
It's the future. So
yeah, but the game itself looks fantastic. Go ahead, Super Nerd.
Is it open world?
No, I don't think it's going to be open world.
See,
you're going to be playing a story. So
okay, so if it was open world and I see Inkster on the map, I'm like, oh, Curls was really good. That's the whole town. Hey, if I see Inkster Road and Michigan Ave, I'm like, oh, blood was really good.
It makes me wonder if they're going to have any part of the map correct, because right now downtown Detroit is popping. I mean, those who lived here 20 years ago wouldn't even recognize downtown Detroit nowadays.
No, they wouldn't.
It's supposed to be
downtown
in the future,
Detroit is fantastic. Downtown Detroit is fantastic.
So as far as what I'm seeing from the trailer, you kind of ruined it for me already, telling me who the voice was. But
it's not the voice; it's her face and it's her body. Sorry, can't help that.
I can get past that, but anyway, but it seems like an interesting concept. Because the whole Android thing. I just don't know because it is about, it's called Detroit. It's obviously about the city or whatever. For the same reasons that the great Josh Koji said, I am interested in it, but I am turned off at the same time because I'm just like, come on, where's the people? Where's the city? What's actually going on here? It's great to have a robot, a Android robot or whatever,
and trying to become human and all that kind of stuff, but still, yeah.
But you can make a fake city and have that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it doesn't have to have the name Detroit attached to it. I totally agree. So moving right along, we're only going to touch on a couple more before we get to kind of the pseudo main topic of the day, and then we'll talk more about Paris Games Week next week after all the trailers and announcements come out. That'll be part of next week's show. But one of the ones that I wanted to get to was a game coming out by Naughty Dog. Now I haven't seen this trailer yet, but the great Atakuji really spoke highly of it, so I want to turn over the floor to him. It's Ghost of Tsushima. What's all about this game?
It's Sucker Punch. And,
Sucker Punch. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
not Naughty
Sucker
Dog.
Punch,
Sorry.
You may know them as the Sly Cooper and the Infamous people. They made all the Infamous games, and I greatly enjoyed the first Infamous game. The second one is in my collection with dust on it because I have to start playing it, and that goes for the third one and First Light. But this game also looks like it's going to be pretty good. It's not going to be. It looks like it's going to be realistic, and the way the developers talked about it, because I watched the trailer where the developers are talking, is that it's going to be true open world. You're not going to have markers. You're not going to have like a map. But like if you want to go look at bamboo, you said you want to go look in the bamboo forest. You go look in the bamboo forest, and it's supposed to be, I'm assuming, being like a real samurai. That's kind of what they gave me the portrayal of. But it still makes me wonder if it's going to have some supernatural stuff in it because it is a video game. But if they're trying to make it straight up realistic and like Bushido Bladey, where like one hit kill you. I don't know. We didn't see too much gameplay. It was mainly you just see the story and then I watched what the developers are talking about it. So, but it looks also amazing as a game. But to say more on it, I have to see some gameplay.
Agreed. And with Neo having come out earlier this year, I really love that game. But we do need to see more, and I would be more interested in seeing if it did return to being like Bushido Blade.
One more thing I got to say about it, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because in the farting trailer, they're speaking English. They better have a Japanese dub. There's no reason for these people to speak English in this game. Subtitle it. I mean, or if you're gonna have a English dub, give me a Japanese dub because I'm not playing that game in English. You're gonna be in the 1200s of Japan, or not the 11th century, if I remember correctly. They better be speaking Japanese.
Better, right. All right, so moving right along, I think we're going to have like one more game, and it's a game that you absolutely loved, and I had to put it in here for you, and that's Guacamelee 2. Why should we be looking forward to this game, man?
This is the first game I platinumed on the PlayStation 3. It's a Metroidvania style game, and for those who don't know, I'm using two words of Metroid by Nintendo and Vania of the Castlevania, where they stuck it together and made these games where they're huge areas that you have to go through, and sometimes places are not open until you get some kind of power or special upper key to go further through. And it's very colorful, very fun. It was just an amazing Metroidvania style game that I recommend to anybody. It's on PlayStation 3 now, PlayStation 4, and Xbox 360, I believe Xbox One, and all that good stuff. So pick up the original one and play it. When this one comes out, it's going to be more of that Metroidvania greatness. I can't say more about it. Just play the freaking game. It is great, specifically if you like those style of games.
Hey, is he uppercutting?
Yeah, he freaking up. He can do wrestling moves and stuff. Where you beat him up, throw him up here, grab him, uppercut him. Do like they call the frog splash on him and stuff. Instead of turning into a ball like Samus does, he turns into a freaking chicken. I mean, the game is freaking amazing, dude. And the first one had so many references to other video games in the background or the stuff they talked about. It is, I mean, the freaking Chozos, when you get your power up, there's these things, and I'm probably mispronouncing it, but these little statues that are in Super Metroid that sit like this, and they, you know, Samus gets in and gets the power ups or whatnot. They actually had their version of them in there. I mean, it's freaking a phenomenal game. I say, get it immediately.
I'm not. I'd be scared as hell if I see a dude walk around with a lucha mask on, uppercutting the fuck out of people. I know how I would like take that. Like, yo, what's going on over here? I gotta step back for a second. That looks fun though. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. I never got into Guacamelee. I never got to play it, but I heard Dido speak about it so many times. So I probably will have to play it at some point. It is definitely on my list of things that I need to get to. So let's go ahead and let's get to the main, kind of the pseudo main topic of the day. What brought us all out here today? It's Halloween, and obviously this hit at the right time. Came out on Friday. That's Stranger Things season 2. Almost everybody everywhere binged this thing. I didn't really see a lot of spoilers floating out on the internet, and I absolutely I had to watch it for myself just to avoid that. But what did we think about season 2 compared to season 1? Story wise, character plot wise, all that.
Amazing. They do. Okay, so let me break it down.
No spoilers. You better not, because I'm on the middle of episode 6 right now, and I still got 2.5.
We'll try. Yeah, no spoilers. We won't do spoilers. No spoilers.
When you watch it, you can definitely feel they took something from the 80s horror and implemented, like as far as fighting the Shadow Master or something happened. You're like, damn, that's from that movie. Or damn, that's from that movie. Like you would see, like even from like there's a part what I saw, and it's like, damn, that's from the Blob, from the 80s Blob, but it kind of reversed it. Remember the 80s Blob, the remake of the remake of the remake. The Blob movie that came out in 1988, it felt like the same thing in my sense. In my opinion, that's what it felt like. And there was certain things that felt like Gremlins was in there. And I was like, yo, they definitely did a great job with the story, and it kept you on edge as always. And I'm like, after that, I figured like you can't do nothing else. But I'm like, this portal stays open apparently because they already got a season 3 and season 4 in talks already. So I'm like, what more can you possibly do with Stranger Things? I guess you can do more. I don't know. Amazing. I can't say much more about it. Take the floor, guys.
I like what I've seen. I have, and before the show started, I was watching episode 6, and I didn't finish it because we had to get this thing together. And everything Super Nerd is saying is correct. They managed to touch that era real well. I like that. I like it more than the first season, mainly because you don't need as much character development already. If you've watched the first one, that's already there. So they're really focusing on story and the progression of these characters, and they're doing such a great job so far. I can't wait to finish watching them. Unfortunately, I know I'm not going to be able to finish it tonight, but pretty soon, most definitely will. And if you haven't watched the first season, I recommend it highly. Go watch it so you can watch part 2 and stay nerdy.
We're gonna try to avoid spoilers as much as we can. Meow, why don't you weigh in?
I too am on episode 6. So I am so ready to just get back into it. I'm going to watch the whole thing again because I just need to, because I love it that much. But it puts you in this nostalgia that I love so much. Like, not many shows can take you and bring all these little elements together and they just mesh. And they just mesh well, from the kids, from the adults, the monsters, the weird government stuff. Like, everything together is beautiful. It is beautiful. And even the music. So I bought the soundtrack to the first one, and I am going to buy the soundtrack to the second one. Granted, they do reuse some of the music from the first one, but
right.
It's done great. It's 11.
Yeah.
Her character progression is amazing.
Okay. You feel like 11 had the best one. Team 11 for you. So who else do you felt? Who else did you guys Well, who else do you guys think that kind of had a really good jump from season 1, season 2? I thought Steve had a really good jump from season 1, season 2, because season 1 you kind of thought he was just like this callous, you know, playboy douchey kind of guy. And I thought he, you know, his progression has gotten pretty good. Anthony Mentor is over on Facebook, and he definitely agrees with you on the soundtrack. Miaoyan, he says it got better. I also thought, to me, the second season was good for Dustin.
Absolutely,
it wasn't necessarily good for Mike. Maybe I'm in the minority on that.
No, I think Mike had a hard time, but I think Dustin really shined the most in this episode.
And Lucas, Dustin was my favorite from the season 1 too.
Yeah,
so
Dustin was my favorite. I mean, Lucas was my favorite in the first one, but I think Lucas didn't really do too much in this season. He had a little moments here and there.
I think he was. I mean, I think he was.
And I love the actor Caleb. Caleb is his name. I love the actor that plays Lucas. But I just feel like Dustin really outshined a lot of them. And I also think the new character, Mad Max, or Max, she was pretty cool. I liked her character. Yeah,
I did like Max as well. I'm very interested. You know, you kind of wanted to hate her stepbrother Billy for a while. I mean, dude, he was an asshole, dude. He was an asshole, dude.
Hey, guess who I found out who he was? I didn't realize.
Yeah, he's the Red Ranger from the Power Rangers movie. I
was like, yo, that's a good actor, and he's Australian too.
Yep.
That makes it even crazier. So I'm like, yo, that's the Red Ranger. I thought Zac Efron at first.
I thought that too a little bit.
I also thought it was Zac Efron, and I was just like, he's really being a dick in this, but it's not him. No.
Sean Astin, having Sean Astin be in there, I thought was absolutely perfect as Bob the Brain. I thought having him in there was just like kind of brought it home for me. It was like, you know, you couldn't have this 80s flick without him. I mean, this 80s series without him being in it. The only other two people that I think they could have put in this movie that would have made it more perfect is the late Corey Haim and Corey Feldman. If you put the Corys in there somehow, some way, yeah, that also would have brought it home for me.
I don't know if you've seen the memes I've been making around on social media. Protect Bob at all costs.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I made that meme up. I even tagged Sean Astin in it. I didn't realize I was Sean Astin because I'm watching. I'm like, wait a minute, is that Sean Astin? I was like, he got old, bro. I didn't recognize him.
You know who else got old?
Immediately, because I
recognized him immediately too. Yeah, but you know who else got old in this show that I was very surprised to see? It's Paul Reiser, dude.
Oh, dude, that's who I almost didn't recognize. I said, wow, that is Paul Reiser. And you know the crazy part they did? If you watched it, you see him hold the ball in his hand. He did that in Alien too, in Aliens.
Okay.
Remember, he's on a microphone talking to him. Yeah, he did the exact. So that's a little reference too, if you notice it.
A lot of Easter eggs in this thing. A lot of Easter eggs.
And that's what I was saying. If you follow these characters and the movies they did or the actors and the movies they did previously, it's almost like they literally took it either frame by frame from the Aliens or Gremlins or whatever movie you could think, or Goonies, matter of fact. That's what got me so excited. I'm like, damn, my childhood is coming back even more just watching this movie. And of course, the whole Ghostbusters reference was just hilarious.
Dog, man. Hilarious. How messed up was it, Dido? You can comment on this. How messed up was it that they all got dressed up for Halloween as Ghostbusters, and did nobody else in the entire school do it?
I think that is messed up, but that just seems so kind of like just weird. But at the same time, I in the 80s, you're telling me that no kid went to school wearing their Halloween costume at all. I think they're in middle school, but yeah, that would be kind of like messed up. But even what was more messed up is when he came to school and you had the four of them, and he was like, "Well, I'm Venkman. No, I'm Venkman." And it was just like.
It's like, I don't want to be Winston. It's like, why don't you be Winston? It's like, why don't you want to be Winston? It's like, cause I can't be Winston. Cause I'm cause you black. That's why. Man, I almost fell out, dude. Thought it was great. Thought it was really great. Yeah, absolutely. What did we think of the, as far as the as far as the villains, not the villain, but the kind of the overarching threat. We know it's much worse than it was in the first season, but I don't know. It was a lot less mysterious, no less scary, but I thought it was a lot less mysterious. What'd you guys think?
I like that they're bringing it like that. It's not mysterious. That you kind of you're seeing eyes on this monster that's plaguing the town, kind of thing. Because the more it comes out, then they can build more of a story around it. And again, I haven't seen, I haven't finished the season yet, but we still need to figure out how it happened and where this thing is from, or all of that. So the more you keep it a secret, it's bring it out, let us see it, let's get deep, let's get in this little monster's world.
I just hope they do it fast and not try to grind it into the ground, because you know how they try to stretch out series as long as they can to make as much money. First off, you got kids, and these kids start to get old. They will progress faster in real life than in that show. That's going to be an issue. And just like when things take too long, it just, to me, the show starts to go downhill, and I don't want to watch anymore. And I don't want this to happen to this show. So I hope they don't stretch it out and try to kill it by just doing too much with it. Just let a story tell a story. Let it tell a story. Let it end. If they're gonna do like more, have it like in the 90s where they're teenagers or something like that. That's cool if they, But like as for this, arc or whatever, how long it's gonna be, I don't want them to try to do it for 8 years and then you don't care anymore. I want to remember this show as being always good, every season being good.
I feel you. Now, Super Nerd, I think you're the only one out of all four of us that has actually finished it. I'm on the last episode. I'm waiting to see it with my daughter. I haven't seen it yet. What did they set it up good for a third season? It's coming.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to IMDb, they already got season 3 and 4 on the seasons. If you look at it, when you see the last episode, it definitely shows something at the end. So just be cognizant of that. But at the same time, it's like, what more can you do with it? But then again, if you think about it, there's more stories to unravel because of the hospital itself and what they was doing experiments on. There's so much layers to that. And when you watch it, you see like, damn, this happened, that could have happened. And it's more like detective work because there's so much to unravel. They can go that route and add the monster in there, but then again, it's like, what else can you possibly talk about and do after everything's said and done? True,
but I'm so glad it was back, and I loved. To me, there was no drop off points in this season. I felt like there was some drop off points in season 1. This season, no, there was no drop off points. I felt like it was a steady progression. Although I think there was one episode, and I think everybody knows, well, everybody that's beyond season 6 knows exactly what I'm talking about. There was one episode that just kind of felt like it was, they could have kind of kept that maybe for the next season. Do you feel the same way that I felt about it, Super Nerd?
I really can't say that. I'm not sure what episode you're talking about. But
talking about the one where it was basically a solo 11 episode, basically.
No, I thought that was genius, and the reason I say that yes, I thought it was because I needed to know more of that, and it was cool how they did it because when she goes to I'm not even gonna say it because I don't know what episode that was, but
right
when she go visit that person. And I was like, damn, okay, so she got the same thing as well, and she was communicating with her. I'm like, oh, so I think that was great. You needed that because, she's basically the hero because she has the abilities. So to see her venture out and see about herself and see where she came from made total sense. I thought that was excellent. Now, in the back of my mind, I thought that, she was going to bring that person along to help out, to battle, the shadow monster. But it
Me
didn't
too.
Come out that way. Yeah. That's what I thought, but I was like, at the same time, I was thinking like, no, she needs to get away from them. So I think that was a great episode. I love that episode.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so, that was Stranger Things season 2. we all think it's a great show. If you haven't seen it yet, you need to go ahead and really see it. If you don't have Netflix, bum Netflix off somebody else and make sure that you see it. So anyway, guys, yeah, all right. So obviously this week is Halloween. And we got about like 20 minutes left of the show to talk about some of our favorite, Halloween memories, some of our favorite Halloween movies, and some of our favorite Halloween candy. I had one kid already come by my house to get some candy already. Anybody else had some visitors, some little kiddies dressed up for Halloween come by the house?
I did go trick or treat with my girlfriend's son tonight, and my best friend Waffles, his stepson and his friends, and they ain't like how they used to be, man. I had to tell them, I said, say trick or treat and thank you. Like they just got the mask.
They just go up to the house and just be like, here, give me my candy. Wow.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, say thank you at least, and say trick or treat. Like I remember days, it's too cold. I don't want to leave. My feet hurt from walking. Bro, I remember.
Right.
Let me get every candy I can get. I want to fill up my bag to the brim. I want everything.
Tony Mentor, Anthony Mentor, I need you to get out of the show right now. Take your candy corn and take your candy corn and get the hell out of here. Are you kidding me? Candy corn is disgusting, dude.
Listen. Back in the day at my grandma's house, we had the neighbor down the street. Her name was Miss Annie Mae. She would give us candy corn all the time, man. I used to love that candy corn. Man,
disgusting.
I know you hate on it. When I was a kid, I hated candy corn. And you know what changed my mind? Candy corn flavor Oreos. I freaking had one and I was like, this is what candy corn tastes like, right? These Oreos taste good. And then I actually had a candy corn and it tasted just like, and I'm like, this doesn't taste like corn. It definitely tastes like candy. I was like, wow, I've been missing this my whole entire life because I thought like you. I thought it was crap. You know also it's crap? Those strawberry ones, they got the strawberry wrapping on there.
Those are disgusting. Those are definitely, those things are disgusting.
You know
that is disgusting.
You know what's also good? Werther's. I used to hate Werther's.
Werther's are good. I love Werther's.
Wow,
Werther's are good. Werther's are good.
Old people candy that people thought tastes like crap. Man, maybe I'm turning to an old man.
Maybe you are an old man because you certainly look the part. I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
You have the palate of an 85-year-old man.
Yeah, absolutely. Meow, what's some of your favorite candy there to eat on Halloween?
I was always going for the Starburst, the Skittles, and Snickers, and Twix.
I can't do chocolate candy bars, man. That's just me and chocolate. I can't do too much chocolate. Too much chocolate is just bad for me.
That's like even it out with the Skittles.
Nah, see, I didn't like sugary candy. I always liked the chocolate. If it was Reese Cups, Snickers, Paydays, and Kit Kats.
Kit Kats I can fuck with. Yeah.
Almond Joys is disgusting. Milky Way.
No.
I can do Mounds.
No coconuts. No.
Dark chocolate on Mounds were awesome. Hated them when I was a kid. Love them now.
No.
Listen, Almond Joys is disgusting.
No, it's just
yes.
I hate regular Hershey bars too because every time I eat Hershey, I feel like I gotta drink water with them. It's like it's so I don't know. It feels.
Yeah, I don't really do Hershey's unless it has some kind of nuts or something. I don't.
Yeah, Egon 88. Yeah, Egon 88 says almond joys, yes, but he's all on the peanut butter cups now. The key to a good peanut butter cup, Reese's peanut butter cup, freeze that boy. Put it in the freezer for a little while. Take it out of there, let it snap in your mouth, and have that chocolate and that peanut butter just melt. Oh,
yes. You sound like a true fat boy with that one. I'm with you on that one.
No, I don't like it in the freezer. You can't do that. I don't like it.
That's the only way to do it. The only way to do it.
I like all chocolate in the freezer.
Listen, I learned a new discovery.
I broke a tooth, okay? I broke a tooth on chocolate. So
you broke a tooth?
Yes.
Girl, you better start drinking some milk. Something. Get that calcium up, boy.
That was years ago, but that's also why I don't put chocolate in the freezer anymore.
Man.
So.
Listen, I learned a new discovery last year. So
what's that?
The whole s'more things is just with Hershey's or whatever with the marshmallows. Bump that. I tried a Reese Cups graham cracker and the marshmallow. New s'more. It was amazing.
That sounds like it'd be really
Sounds good.
It was hella good. It's the peanut butter and the chocolate and the marshmallow and that graham cracker.
Ooh, now you sound like a true fat boy.
Now you sound like a true fat boy.
I thought it was mozzarella cheese the way it was stretching like that.
Wow, like mozzarella cheese. Okay, okay. Now look, back in the day, I know they don't give them out anymore, but my favorite to get was definitely the Jolly Rancher sticks, like the long sticks of Jolly Ranchers. Loved getting those. Now, granted, them bitches would break. Like as soon as they hit the bag, they were so fragile because they were long and thin that they would break. Who cares if they broken up? You can still take that wrapper off, take every little morsel, every little bit in the bag, and just stuff it in the mouth, man. Yeah, it was some good stuff.
Hey,
you might cut the corner of your mouth a little bit too because they're so pointed. You know,
I remember this one lady was handing out a little baggie of chips. And
man, get that out of here. Man, get that out of here. Get that out of here.
She had the Cool Ranch Doritos and
oh, dog, come on. No.
I love that. I don't care. It was all food.
If it's a treat that tasted good, man, as long as you got it, no matter what. Because when we used to go around the neighborhoods, we go to the party stores and they would hand out freaking potato chips and shit like that. So I had no problem with the potato chips.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie though. I ain't fuck with the apples. Yeah, raisin berries.
No, I'm just like, you are a psycho giving out fruit. What?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
What about the people that give out the pennies? You ever get one of those people? Like,
the pennies, dog. The pennies, man. Man. The pennies, dog. Wow. Yes.
Hey, remember everybody moved to the pillowcases as their candy bag instead of having
hell yeah.
Because I remember one.
Hey. How many of y'all used to roll around with, like, you know, after you done with one whole entire pillowcase, you go get another one?
Yep.
It just hit them houses again.
Home, it was over. We weren't going back.
Exactly. You go in the house, you done.
Yeah.
But remember, back in the day, like Halloween was over at like midnight. It's like early now because people got to work.
No, man, they got curfews. They got curfews now for all the kids. You can't stay out till like midnight doing trick or treating and stuff like that.
I remember staying out till midnight. They was like, yep, yeah, almost 11:59. Time to stop. People now, if for Halloween fell on a Tuesday, it's like people got to work in the morning. So I saw one dude dump the whole bowl in my man's bag. I'm like, he said, I got to work in the morning.
All right, straight up.
I tell you, hold on real quick. This woman I work with, she was talking about when she put her kids to bed, she didn't want nobody ringing the doorbell. So she just put all the candy out on the stoop, says take as much as you want. So like, good for the first kid to get there. If he dumps all of it in his bag.
Dump that entire thing in the bag.
Like,
that's
you
right.
You won.
Yep. So hey, all right. So what was by far the nastiest type of candy that you could get? I'm gonna put my hat in the ring for these for 2 months. One, them knockoff ass Smarties. Give me Sweet Tarts. Don't give me Smarties. Or the Necco wafers. Remember the Necco wafers are like the super thin.
Gross.
Yeah, those are nasty.
What circus peanuts? Those things, those big ass. I think they were freaking marshmallows.
Orange, like big orange marshmallow peanuts. Yes.
You can keep that.
Halloween no, but that's disgusting.
Yeah,
I used to hate Charleston Chews and Laffy Taffies and all
that
shit.
The Charleston Chews, man. Now they're made out of what? I think they're like chocolate covered in some kind of nougat or something like that. You would think it would be like Three Musketeers, but it just something about it just wasn't right. Something about it wasn't right.
Nougat. Just saying that word.
I've actually never had a Charleston Chew.
You don't need to have one. You straight. You don't need to have one.
I remember the first time I got a Zack nut. I didn't know that was real because it was in Beetlejuice. Remember when he was enticing that fly? I didn't know that was a real candy bar. I thought that was like made up for the movie. And I got one. I was like, a Zack nut? What the hell?
Hey, so what were what were some other nasty ones that you just didn't want to get in your Halloween bag?
Candy corn.
Candy corn, definitely. I thought that was definitely a given. Anthony Mentor says cowtails. I'm not familiar with cowtails. Anybody else heard those?
Cowtails.
Cowtails are delicious.
No, they're not. They're terrible.
I have some downstairs right now.
Ew, what's wrong?
You straight? You straight?
They're for
Okay.
me. They're
Mm.
delicious.
Right. So what other? Okay, so beyond our favorite candies, right? So, what was like when you were as a kid? What was your favorite Halloween costume to dress up in? Now, mind you, if you're on Facebook, you follow us on Facebook. Go to our Culture Junkies Nation page. One of our newest members actually dressed up as a Lady Pinhead. I mean, phenomenal job she did. Some of our other members have actually posted some of their pictures, and I hope that as the night goes on, they'll post their pictures as well. But she did a phenomenal job. But what was like your favorite costume to dress up in when you were a kid? What was like the best costume that you ever had?
Crap, that's kind of hard because I know what I didn't like dressing up as.
What you didn't like?
Remember.
Okay, what didn't you like dressing up as?
Well, I was Dracula one year, and that was fine and dandy till my mom
Seemed like
decided to try to put fake blood makeup on my face.
Yeah,
I was a kid. I was like, no, do not put makeup on my face. Don't put that crap on my face. And I was pissed. I was livid. My gosh, like what? Why are you putting this on my face? Seriously. But outside
what about
of that,
you, Summer Nerd and Miayan?
I don't even remember.
What was your favorite or not favorite?
I was a ghetto Ninja Turtle. I'm gonna tell you why.
Describe that to me, please.
My mom, she's like, of course, I had the face mask because back in the day they had like the actual turtle.
The mouth, the mouth face mask. I remember those. Yeah.
Right, and I had the turtle shell, but I had on green sweatpants and black shoes. I had a green green sweatpant top, green sweatpant bottom, and I was like my whole Halloween costume. And I went to school like that. I went trick or treating like that. I thought I was the man. I was Michelangelo. I had the nunchucks and everything. I thought I was the man.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's homegrown costume.
Yayan, what about you?
I don't know. I think my favorite costume is probably because it's the only one that I remember. Well, I guess I have two. It's like I was Ariel one year, and then I tried to dress up as my brother for Halloween, but everybody thought I was the brat, so I went with it. And I was like, all right.
Wait a minute. Describe that. So you tried to dress up as your brother? What? So you tried to dress up as a dude? So you ended up looking like TLC or something like that? Like T-Boz?
Everybody thought I was the brat, but I was my brother. I like dressed up in his clothes and his favorite outfit or whatever. He was still so mad. But yeah, I dressed up in his clothes and I went trick-or-treating and went to the mall and everything. And everybody's like, oh, you're the brat. That's cool. I was like, okay.
Well, me.
But that's all I remember. I don't remember. Like I had many years of crap costumes, so I don't.
Well, you making up for it because some of your more recent costumes that you've done are really impressive. I saw your Black Widow one. Black Widow she did was really, really good. She did the Baroness one time too. The Baroness one was really good. I don't know.
Yeah,
did you do that one for Halloween, or was that Halloween, or that was just cosplay? Yeah, the Baroness one looked really, really good. I like that one a lot. That one was good. So you making up for lost time.
I did Catwoman, like Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. Did that a couple years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. I sadly don't.
Did you make it yourself? No,
I found the costume.
Okay.
Like with the headpiece and everything. It was pretty dope.
Right.
What else did I do?
Oh.
I was like a flight attendant a couple years ago, like soul plane flight attendant. It's like looked like a pink ass highlighter. So yeah, I've had some interesting costumes. This year, obviously, I'm Miao Yin, because I didn't prepare. It kind of snuck up on me. So yeah.
Well, for me, when I was a kid, my favorite one to go around as was Superman. So actually, one year I did the whole Superman outfit, but I put the Clark Kent over it. So I had a shirt and stuff like that. And then just on a whim, I would take off the shirt and run around and have the cape billowing in the wind or something. I think I dressed up as Superman twice or something like that. I think everybody's done the whole Dracula thing one time, so I know I did that once as well. I remember doing y'all remember, this is before your time, but I remember doing remember Centurions, Dido and Super Nerd?
Yep.
I do.
Yeah, so I remember I did Centurions one time as well, the blue one. But I didn't really dress up for Halloween that much. So
Me neither. I always want to be super creative. Okay, never mind. I got this one costume I made up. And I told my girlfriend about it. She laughed at me. So I want to be a superhero. I created my own superhero one year. And my auntie, she's a seamstress, so she sewed my costume together. And I gave her this weird, elaborate idea of a character called Lightning Man. And I had one sleeve green, one sleeve black. The shirt was blue with the big with a big gold lightning bolt, a blue cape, and a white mask with a lightning bolt going across the face. And I had Doc Martens on with spandex. The weirdest shit ever. Like, it made no sense. They were like, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm Lightning Man." They said, "They ain't nobody real." I said, "Man, whatever, punk." He's real in my mind. He's real in my mind. Lightning Man was that guy.
Oh man, that's pretty funny, man. Not bad.
I'm saying that's probably the only creative thing I ever did. But now I see how people are coming up with creative ideas, and when it comes to Halloween, like, I really want to do something so cool and creative next year. I never got a chance to do something creative besides what I did as a kid, but as an adult, I really want to do something real cool.
Right. Now, next year, obviously, Lord willing, we should be right here doing our video podcast. We're rapidly approaching 100 episodes, so let's see. We'll be about, we're doing one every week. A year from now will be another 52. We'll be like on episode 140 something by the time Halloween rolls around again. Next time we come on, like for next Halloween, we should like do some kind of like, we should plan out our costumes and make sure like we get dressed up and we do it big, do it right. What you guys say to that?
I'm with that because I really want to do something. I always want to do something crazy.
Okay. All right,
I always want to do like who Sid and Nancy was, right? Sid Vicious from Sex Pistols. I always want to do like a zombie version of him and Sid and Nancy. I know it's fucked up, very much so. I know it's messed up because I watched that documentary. I thought, no, it was the movie they did with Gary Oldman, and I thought that was dope as hell.
Right. So anyway, guys, it's almost 10 o'clock. We had a really great time, doing the show with you guys, talking about Stranger Things 2, talking about Justice League, talking a little bit about Paris Games Week. Next week, we're going to talk about Paris Games Week at length. Also give you our thoughts on Thor 2 Ragnarok, which I forgot to talk about because that's coming out this Friday, and we actually have an event for Thor 2. We're going to go see it at 10:30 Friday night at the MJR Troy. If you want to come and join us, please do come and join us. If you're living in the Southeast Michigan area, we'd love to see you. Beyond that, it's been a fantastic show, guys. I hope you guys all have fun. What'd you think?
I had a great time.
Yeah, we had a great time having you back as well, because it's been a while.
It's super awesome.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Is that what you, no, maybe not.
And for all you guys out there, buy Nintendo Switch. Mario,
Yeah.
get one.
We'll have to get Dido's thoughts on Super Mario Odyssey that just came out next week. We had a lot to get to and we didn't get time. Sometimes it bees like that. So anyway, we hope you all had a really great time. If you did, make sure you hit the notifications button on the live notification so you know that when we are live, you'll be here to see us. Dido is going to be posting a lot more game videos. If you liked our Mike Tyson video and our Contra versus Contra Hardcores video, he's going to be doing a lot more. What else are we going to be doing this week, guys?
Playing some video games. I got to get that
too.
streaming box up there so you guys can enjoy what I've been enjoying. Mario Odyssey, some more Ninja Gaiden, among other things.
I'm looking forward to streaming more on my PC here because I finally fixed the problem and I'm able to overclock my card now the right way. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. So anyway, guys, we hope you had a great time. Check us out on Facebook and on YouTube. Watch some of our past shows and our other clips. For the great Dadakuji, for Miaoyan, and for Super Nerd, I'm Kenshiro. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
And happy
Bye.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Watch horror movies, eat candy, but don't kill nobody.
Go get half price candy tomorrow.
Yes,
yeah.
go get the
Tons
half
of
price
that
candy
stuff.
tomorrow.
Come to my
Absolutely.
job and get like 70% off and shit.
The big red circle.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
That place.